All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from Community Beer Works, and they're out of Buffalo, New York, and this is their Choco Taco Whale. So this is an American brown ale that is brewed with real sugar cones, vanilla beans, chocolate, and peanuts. It comes in at 5.9% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is approximately 5 weeks old. So recently, Community Beer Works put out a mixed 4-pack, and included in that mixed 4-pack was their Whale, which is their American brown ale, one of their flagship beers, really good. And then they put 3 different variants in that mixed 4-pack. The first one I reviewed was their Mocha the Whale, which was the Whale with, I believe it was vanilla, cold brew coffee, and chocolate. Really tasty. I reviewed that one for West New York Wednesday this past week. This one, which they're kind of trying to replicate a Choco Taco, you know, the ice cream novelty dessert. And then they did a Canadian breakfast whale, which is like an oak-aged version of the whale. And I believe they have maple syrup and coffee in that one. And I'll be reviewing that one within the next week. So this one sounds really good. On the side here, they kind of have the same spiel that they had on the other one. So I won't read the entire thing. I'll just say that they say this special version is a nod to one of our favorite frozen treats made with real sugar cones, vanilla beans, chocolate, and peanuts. A delicious dessert wrapped in a can. It contains peanuts. So yeah, I love Choco Tacos. If you've never had one, definitely need to get on that because it's fantastic. But yeah, this one sounds pretty good. We'll see how much different it is than Mocha the Whale and you know, the base whale and everything. But I'm hoping that it kind of tastes like a Choco Taco in beer form. We'll see. Oh yeah, so that's looking completely different than their whale. Like that definitely looks like it's brewed with like a lot of adjuncts, because it has this really dirty brown, like mud water look to it. That does, now on camera, I don't know, it's probably gonna be darker, but in person, that just looks like a muddy water. It does not look appeasing, to be honest with you. About a half finger of this light brown colored head is dissipating, probably because of all of the adjuncts. There's a little bit of like residue on the side, probably, you know, with the peanuts and everything on there. But yeah, that does not look great. Just be honest with you, it just does not look great. Hopefully it smells and tastes a lot better. So to be honest with you, this doesn't smell a lot, honestly. My palate might be broken. Maybe my schnoz isn't working correctly. This doesn't smell much different than the base whale. There's caramel, there's chocolate, there's like this toasted kind of malt character. A little bit of roasted malt character as well. But I don't smell the peanuts. There's not a huge like vanilla kick to this one. The only indication this is not the whale is the color is way different. Huh. All right, now as it opens up, I'm getting a little bit more of like a distinct sweetness. Probably coming from the sugar cone. Yeah, a little bit like vanilla, like pastry-esque kind of sweetness. Not really getting the peanuts at all. This does not smell as good as Mocha the Whale. It smells on par with the regular whale, but I think the regular whale is just more robust and cohesive. This one's kind of disjointed in the nose. It doesn't smell fantastic, honestly, but let's get into it. Cheers. All right, so I get a little bit of the peanuts now in the back of the palate. Body on this one seems a bit thinner than the Mocha and the base. This is like lower side to medium, higher side to light. Definitely a bit thinner. 5.9%. I'd like to see it more in like that low to medium as opposed to higher side of low to lower side of medium. I'd like to be closer to straight medium body. This one also seems a little bit undercarb. There's carbonation there, but it doesn't seem as boisterous as the other two. It's more soft, smooth, slightly creamy, but body and mouthfeel are a little bit disappointing. The taste, I think, is a little bit disappointing as well. Don't get me wrong, this is not bad whatsoever. It actually tastes pretty solid, pretty good. But for something that says Choco Taco Whale, I was hoping for like a home run. Right up front, you're hit with a lot of malty sweetness, and I'm definitely getting vanilla. I'm getting more of a pronounced, just like sugary, almost confectionery kind of sweetness at the beginning of the palate. So that's probably that sugar cone mixing in, probably with the peanuts and whatnot, and the other adjuncts. There's caramel, there's chocolate, there's that toasted kind of malt character I was talking about. Pass through the palate. The nuttiness from the peanuts kind of hit me mid-palate. There's also this like mild bitterness that kind of hits as well. Like a little bit of a distinct earthiness. It finishes semi-dry, but this one leans a little bit more sweet than the base whale and Mocha the Whale. Probably, again, the sugar cones in there for sure. It's just bumping up the sweetness. The finish of this one, like I said, lean sweet. It is not a substantial dry. It's just slightly dry, slightly bitter. Yeah, I like Mocha the Whale better. And that's a shame. I thought out of all three of the variants, I thought this one was going to be the most fun and probably unique and tasty version. Right now, I don't like this as much as Mocha the Whale. I don't like this as much as the base whale. I think this is kind of a swing and miss for me. It's not terrible or anything. It's not bad. It's just not kind of what I was expecting. I'm going to pour the rest in here just to see if there's any goodies at the bottom that I'm kind of missing out. You know, when you have a beer like this, a lot of times the sediment falls and whatnot. So I want to see how this one is a little bit of, with all of the goodies in there. Now, yeah, I mean, I pretty much get everything. The sugar cones bring in the sweetness, the vanilla I'm getting, the chocolate I'm getting, and the peanuts, a little bit of nuttiness. It just is a disjointed beer for me. It's not bad. It's actually, like I said, it's fine. It's solid. But when I'm comparing it to what I had this past Wednesday, and I'm comparing it to the Whale, which I've had numerous times and I enjoy, it just doesn't live up to those two beers. So, Choco Taco Whale from Community Beer Works. Best I can do on this one is a 3.5 out of 5. That's a bummer. I thought it was going to be delicious. I thought this was going to be the best variant of the bunch. It turns out it's of the two variants I've reviewed, it's not the better one. And the Canadian Breakfast Whale now probably, I'm hoping that one's better. But anyway, excuse me, a lot of carbonation. Even though I said it wasn't that carbonated, a lot of carbonation. Price point availability on this one. Availability in and around Western New York. I know they got out to Rochester, here in Buffalo. When I picked this one up, there was a lot still on the shelves. And then I went beer shopping like a week later again. And there was still a bunch of cans on the shelf at like Premier Gourmet in Amherst, New York. Shout out to them. Local bottle shop, fantastic. One of my favorite bottle shops. But so I'm sure this is still all over Western New York. Even here, you're going to see this one in early November. So this is probably still on the shelf. So if you want to pick up the 6-pack, it's $16. Or sorry, pick up the 4-pack, $16 4-pack. You get the Whale, their base Whale, and then you get 3 variants for $4 a can. I think that's fun to try. And Community Beer Works makes good beer. So this one is disappointing to me. Probably one of the most disappointing beers I've had from Community Beer Works in a long time. So I'm hoping the Canadian Breakfast Whale makes up for it. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. It sounded fantastic, but the execution of it just isn't for me. So 3.5 out of 5 for Choco Taco Whale. If you've had it before, let me know what you think about it. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. Till the next one, cheers. Not cheers. 5.9%. Why do I struggle? Even when I think about struggle mentioning the alcohol, unless it's like a big beer, 5.9%, you can't tell. I don't know. It's just one of those OCD things where I need to mention the ABV even when it's like a sub 6% beer that you're not going to taste the alcohol because I'm fucked in the head. Anyway, cheers for real though.